What is good, YouTube? A Squad 72, and today I'm back for another My Hero Academia review-ish. It's more of a speed review, something a little bit different. But Castor Troy, shout out to Castor Troy. He been trying to get me to get caught up for a while now, and I'm still making progress, but you know, I'm making progress. So yeah, man. Last episode I watched was episode 43 and 44. And like I said, like last time I felt like, man, you know, it's kind of, things were kind of dragging along a little bit. But I took the time, I sat down and watched like 6 episodes, like just back to back to back. And I gotta say, man, things did pick up. Things are a lot better now. And pretty much what ends up happening is, I guess I'm going to just get right into it. So Deku wakes up in the hospital. Arms are pretty much being held together by Elmer's glue, paper clips, and chewing gum. And Momo makes a tracker, seeing that, you know, a couple episodes back she had the welder guy put a tracker on Nomu. So I mean, that's a whole thing. The cops are doing their investigations and they're trying to figure out what happened with Bakugo and how can they get him back and everything's like that. So that was interesting to see that whole dynamic. And Kirishima and Todoroki are planning to go get Bakugo and they want Deku's help. Seeing that, I mean, he's still in the hospital, barely has any real use of his arms, and you know, they let him know, hey, listen, man, if you keep this up, you won't be able to use your arms anymore. Like, one more really good injury and your arms are done. So he has that kind of weight on his shoulders too. But besides that, all things aside, he's still ready to go put all the chips on the table and go get Bakugo. So that's one thing. After that, we head back to pretty much the the villain's hideout, because as we all know, they kidnapped Bakugo and they're trying to recruit him / convert him over to, like, I don't know, villainism, if that's a real word. I'm making this up, whatever. But yeah, they're trying to make him a villain and he's not having it. He's not buying it at all. So they tell him, you know what, take his restraints off. He's not like a prisoner. We just want to talk to him. We just want to kind of show him the way. And Bakugo's ready to fight. Even though he knows he's outnumbered, he's ready to fight. And whatever it's going to take to get away from these guys, he's going to do it. But he's not stupid. I know last video I did, I was saying he's like the smartest dumb person I know. That, yeah, I mean, it's some truth to that. Seeing that, yeah, man, you know, they told him don't engage, but he wants to engage. And now that he's stuck, he's like, all right, I have to get out, but I have to be smart about it. So that's one thing too. So he's trying to think of a way to get out of there. And after that, pretty much in a nutshell, Deku, Momo, Kirishima, Todoroki, Lita, they're all on this mission to get Bakugo back because they have the tracker now, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna go and save him and etc. So they ended up doing this weird dress up disguise situation because they can't walk around, because the villains obviously know what they look like, so they have to get in disguise and you know, do things covert style. So that was interesting. The actual costume choices were rather interesting as well, but that's neither here nor there. So they make it to the hideout where they thought they were keeping Bakugo, but turns out that's where the Nomus were. I've been watching Bleach lately, so when I think Nemu, I think of Captain Kotosuchi's lieutenant. But yeah, the Nomus are there in the tanks, and Kirishima's freaked out about that, and then Deku sees it. But for whatever reason, they ended up leaving that place, and so all of a sudden, before Bakugo makes his moves, they cut back to the actual hideout, and Bakugo is about to make his move, and then All Might crashes through the door. And so it's like this weird SWAT team, you know, Rainbow Six Siege type extraction going on. And to me, I thought that was pretty dope because, you know, they made a tracker, they had their investigations, they were collecting all this intel, and they let them know, yeah, we've done our homework, we know all you guys' real names, we know pretty much everything about you that we need to know about this operation. And we're not only hitting this place, but we're hitting your warehouse too, that houses all your Nomu. So like, that was like, wow, they really like kind of coordinated and pin this thing down, man, it would look like a pretty, pretty clean operation. And that's when things take a turn for the worse, because All For One, he gets his hands in the mix. And it was one of those things where I was like, you know what, man, we have this guy, we have All Might with One For All, then you have All For One, who we don't even know exactly where he was, but he's kind of like, he's around, he's in the shadows, and he finally makes his move. So I'm like, okay, let's find out what this guy's about, because they incapacitate the actual Warp Gate guy, and then everybody else is being restrained. And so you're like, well, how are the villains gonna get out of this? And you figure Tomaru, the guy with the hands in the decay, I always forget his name, but yeah, you figure he's gonna do something, because the wood guy has a hold of him. And I say the wood guy because, like, I mean, it's so many characters in this show. It's like I'm not gonna bother to learn everybody's name, but the wood guy, you're thinking he's gonna like touch him or whatever it is and decay his little wood and everything like that, but no, it's not the case. All For One is like, you know what, I'm tired of being in the shadows, it's time for me to go ahead and do this right. And he shows up, he teleports everybody to him, he gets all his villains, all his buds, he gets him out of there. And then All Might shows up, and it's time for them to throw hands. And so that's to me, I'm like, okay, it's finna go down, because like, this is something we kind of been waiting for. This is kind of something they've been alluding to, like, yeah, I fought this guy like 8 years ago, and this is like the rematch. But soon as they get there, soon as All Might gets there, All For One is like, man, it took you a little longer than I thought. You must be getting weaker. Like, everybody's kind of picking up on this. All Might's, he's missing a step. Something's not quite right with him right now. So he picks up on that relatively quickly. And so they start fighting, but they realize, okay, Bakugo's here. It's not really much that I can do, because when All Might shows up, All For One teleports his friends elsewhere, because he can only teleport people either to him or away from him. So he force activates the Warp Gate from the other villain so he can send his buds off, and then they start to fight. But then Deku is there, because apparently, since All For One teleported everybody to the warehouse location and All Might shows up, that's how Deku, Todoroki, Kirishima, Lita, and Momo get caught up in this whole situation. But when All For One first shows up and uses like his quirks and combines his quirks, which is something we've never really seen before. We knew he had the ability to take and give quirks, but we didn't know about him, or at least I didn't know about him being able to mix and match, because I don't read the manga. But yeah, so anyway, he shows up and uses his powers, and it's that classic scene in anime where like this random like big bad dude shows up and everybody's so scared stiff that they just can't move. And that was a very, very nice scene to me, because it's like, yeah, you're definitely out of your league right now. So it really puts things in perspective for these young heroes that, yeah, you can't handle everything. Certain things you just cannot handle because of, one, you're inexperienced, and two, you're just not at that level as far, you don't have the power necessary to handle a situation just like this. So yeah. But even within all of that, Deku devises a plan to get Bakugo out of there in a way that would allow them to save him, but also not fight, because they know they can't take this guy on. So he makes his plan and he tells everybody his plan, and Kirishima is like the key to the whole thing working, because if Deku said it himself, if I try to do this, if anybody else tries to do this, Bakugo's just not, he's not gonna hear it. Since Kirishima has like the best relationship with him, they're like friends, it's like this weird dynamic between those two. He's like, you have to be the one to reach out to him, and he'll see you and he'll know exactly what to do. He's gonna if you call him, he will react, he will follow suit. So the plan works off flawlessly, and the heroes are just like, man, like these kids, they don't listen. They're teenagers, they do what they want to do, but it's for like this weird greater good. And it's this weird situation where it's like, yeah, I'm glad you guys reacted, but at the same time, like I have to punish you because you didn't follow protocol, you didn't follow orders. Like I can't have you going rogue, because that makes It makes no sense. It has to be like rules and regulations to these type of things. So with all that being said, Bakugo, all the kids are out of the way now, and so it's All For One versus All Might, and this is when things get a little bit weird. So they're fighting, they're having this all-out fight, and All For One is just buffering all of All Might's hits. He's suppressing the impact, he's air cannon, all this weird stuff. All Might can't get a solid hit, and he's getting worn out due to the fact that he's not as strong as he used to be. All For One knows this, and it's just this whole back and forth cat and mouse, dog and pony show situation. Now, with that being said, Gran Torino is there, and I can't even really say he's helping or hurting. He's just kind of there. He takes a blow straight to the face because, again, All For One has this weird teleportation, dark water, mist type situation. Like it's like this weird, like you cough up water and then you just teleport to him. It's very awkward quirk, very looks very uncomfortable. But yeah, so Gran Torino takes an All Might. I don't know if it's a Detroit Smash or what, but he takes an All Might punch to the face, which not a lot of people can actually do. Especially seeing that this dude's old, man. Like man, I thought he died. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I literally thought this dude died. But yeah, so he takes that punch, and then all of a sudden now All For One does this weird. He has this weird way of the way he fights. It's very psychological in a sense, because he brings up the fact that the kid that he's grooming up to be his successor is the grandson of All Might's predecessor for One For All, and that messes with him on a level, and they don't tell you exactly why. You just know that his predecessor is somebody who's very important to him, and that pretty much not taught him how to be a hero, but kind of like showed him the way on how to become the quote unquote pillar of like peace, and like this symbol of like peace and justice and different things like that. So you get a little bit of backstory into that, and like how he got his quirk, and like what being a hero actually means to him, because where he comes from, crime is not, I wouldn't say out of control, but it's more or less like it's not a great place to live. And so he wants to be a hero to save people, and she teaches him that, you know, you do it with a smile, and you not only save people's lives, but you save their hearts. And it was a really good heartwarming message in a situation where, you know, it looks as if he's about to, you know, eat it. So that happens, and then all of a sudden, you know, All For One, he's going on this weird monologue, and All Might's just done. He's like, listen, man, I don't want any more of this. I don't have the time nor the patience for it. He fires up. He puts all his energy into like his, I want to say, left arm. And yeah, it was his left arm. So he put it in his left arm, all his power in his left arm, and he takes the initial blow from All For One, who's combined like several different quirks at this point, like designed to take out All Might, because he knows his powers is like pretty much running out. He keeps calling it the embers left of All For One. No, yeah, All For One. No, One For All. I'm sorry. These All For One, One For All. This is getting mixed up in my head. So yeah, so he knows he's pretty much at the end of his rope. And then all of a sudden, All Might switches his power from his left arm to his, from his right arm to his left arm. I got the arms mixed up. But yeah, his right arm to his left arm. And he full on, and this is a move too that I didn't know he can do. Seeing that all of his moves are pretty much based on like states in Smash. So yeah, so I should have been able to piece this together that he can combine attacks. But and all his attacks are either punches or kicks. It's relatively simple, but I guess the name of the attack dictates how strong it is, but neither here nor there as well. But he hits All For One with a United States Smash in the face, into the ground, and battle's over, and everybody can go home. But yeah, but he also he lets people know, like, yeah, I'm not a hero anymore. I'm not a symbol of peace. That was my last battle, my last hurrah. And it's taken a toll on a lot of people. A lot of people saw his true form. That's what I forgot to throw in there as well. All For One exposes All Might's true form, and everybody's like, oh, what is this? Like, yo, he looks like a skeleton. How is this a symbol of peace? He's like, even though he looks weird, he's still All Might, right? He's still the #1 hero. Like that's our guy. If all things are going bad, we're putting our money on this guy because he's the #1 hero. He's the guy who's always saved us in time of need. So people see his real form and they kind of squint their eyes at it a little bit, but they're like, you know what? It's still All Might, so he's cool with me. And he wins and everybody loves him. And it was like one of those weird dynamics I felt like too. The way the scene was being portrayed is that like, yeah, we want him to win, but if he doesn't win, we're not gonna love him anymore. And so it was a very, very odd situation, I guess, for me, because I guess how I see things. But yeah, man, he wins. They love him. He throws his hand up. He buffs his body back up, even though he can't hold that form that long. And Gran Torino was telling everybody, like, listen, man, he shouldn't be like pushing himself like this after this fight. And Gran Torino's like, nah, you gotta leave him alone. He's working. He's doing his job. And this is his last job. And from that point on, he can take it easy. But you have to realize too, All Might takes his role as the symbol of peace very seriously. He takes his hero business very seriously. And so even with that moment of weakness and he won that battle, he's still, to him, it's not, I'm not done yet. I'm still like, he's All Might. He's never had to take it easy. He's never had to be a regular guy before. And so that's what that's about. And you can tell it weighs on him to a certain degree. But yeah, man, that's pretty much what happened. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I know I said this was gonna be like a quick speedy review, and it definitely was not a speed review. So yeah, make of that what you will. But yeah, man, that I don't know what I was trying to say, but check it out. Thank you guys for checking me out, for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this video if you like to, and I will holler at y'all later. Actually, of all these episodes, 'cause I think I'm caught up. I'm on like episode like 52 now, and so let me know what you guys think about the whole ordeal between like episodes like 44, 45, and like 51. Yeah, man, don't be afraid to get down in that comment section. I'm pretty good about replying to comments really quickly. So yeah, man, I'll holler at y'all later, man, and y'all take it easy. Peace.